Let me convey the thrills and spills of the 3rd Division promotion race through the prism of 3 contrasting men. Atami Fuji, the precocious teenager who cannot stop rising. 36 wins from 42 since debut heading into January. Shimazuumi, 5 years at this level, 10 years a pro, on his highest ever rank. And Kairyu, Mitakeumi's vassal and long-term jester, seeking salaried heaven in his 100th tournament. For all 3, just 4 wins from 7 would suffice. But the pressure involved rendered that task Herculean. Act 1 began without delay. Kaidu up on the first day against ex-uni champion and komusubi, Kairyu. And after quite some grunting and rope resistance, Kaidu kept his feet to smash the right arm away and enter prime throwing position, whence instinct took charge. Defeat from last July avenged. Minutes later did Atami Fuji rise to face a man he'd beaten just 2 tournament days prior. Then he'd struggled to grip and relied on twisting hips. But here, his left was sublimely strong, transporting his foe a full 90 degrees with feet well spread. Shimazuumi did not fight until day 2, but was worth the wait, wheeling out of Takakento's thrusts and piercing from the right. And with scarce time to catch our breath, up stepped his ex-sparring partner from Hokkaido summer camp to try and contain Atami Fuji. But Yago, despite fine overall form, could not. His overhand left scarce competing with that thorough double grip. A flying 2-0 start for the youngster. For Yago, his only loss from the first 10. Day 3 saw Kaidu meet Shimazuumi. But failed to recover from aborted attack and had left armpit breached, giving the ex-Nakazono all the momentum for day 4. Or so we thought, but Chiyo Arashi, scrapping for salaried survival after 8+ years away, repelled his attempts to slot inside with an inspired scoop. Day 5 gave us Kairyu's turn with Takakento. But a one-sided bout turned sharply at the rope through Kento's leftward slide. And the seated fighter Kairyu narrowly missed soon took on Atami Fuji. As a top division regular demoted through suspension, Ryuden was firmly expected to win, but Atami splendidly held on for a minute and beyond, clamping for dear life, even forcing break of grip, before no more could be done, the right knee tiring out. Day 7 saw Kaidu fired up. and duly arresting his slide against harried Kotodaigo, who went down injured and pulled out thence, only to be mislabeled as Kaidu in a newspaper photo. Two ringside observers then mounted for their act. Atami Fuji versus Shimazuumi. Here though, Atami's hips were far too high, jumping up as if electric shocked to a position not even his left could salvage. Successive pro defeats for the first time. Also burning out was Kairyu, toppled by Yago the next afternoon to go 2-3. But Shimazuumi then had this chance for promotion against September Divisional Champion Fukai. Alas, he was caught tightly and comfortably, and tipped before his right could scoop. The 10-year wait for the silk apron continued. Minutes later, a shell-shocked Atami was suckered by Roga's left hook, conceding frontal left and inside right to be thrown crossbody and down for 3 straight defeats. "I thought I was done for at this point," he would later confess. But the chance to atone came quickly. And with charmed life led on rope, did he win with a lightning switch of direction. Gently tipping from the right before twisting down from the left. Roll on Act 3. Facing Kaidu was Hakuho's student Hokaho, so helpful to this channel last September. Lose and the promotion dream would vanish. But incredible resolve and arm block at the rope somehow got Kairyu through after a frightening assault. He has been third-tier champion, you know, back in March 2012. Impelled, it seems, to pay homage to the coach who had died just weeks before, necessitating his move from Tago no Ura to Dewa no Umi stable. Had that spirit been rekindled here? The clock ticked a little, then Shimazuumi tried for glory again. This time against a man just promoted himself, and eager to repay his donors for a glorious ceremonial apron themed upon the beauteous mountains of his hometown. And it was not even close. Shimazuumi hitting well and almost running Kotoyusho out for his first ever salary. "I wanted to give coach something to smile about long before," he said of his just retired master, "but it's nice to give him something now. I've had my fair share of injuries, but an equal share of support, and I now want to try for Division 1 and even Sanyaku level." Atami Fuji's challenge was broadly the same. Defeat Kotoyusho for the salary, except with no margin for error. Yusho had lost twice since his Shimazuumi mauling. and seemed to lose again. Atami's mighty left and pressing right enough, it seems, to handle an ex-freestyle wrestler of acclaimed upper body strength. But what of this left foot, kissing perhaps a grain of sand in the final move? The judges, all of whom recalling their first salaries and knife-edge defeats with similar stakes, smiled grimly at their thankless task, feeling, of course, for demotion-threatened Koto Yusho, but praying for a reason to reprieve the youngster, whose tears of joy had already started to come. The replays proved unclear, but just to make sure, the judges said it didn't matter. Whenever that foot landed, it was after Koto Yusho's irreversible fall. Atamifuji had won to earn a salary in just 8 professional meets, tying with Konishiki and Baruto for 7th fastest rise to that level. I told myself to reach Division 2 by 20 and am delighted to have done this, he later said. The straight losses midway exposed mentality issues which can only be put right through yet harder training. In March then, let me go for 8 wins first, then try for the Division 2 crown. And my ultimate goal remains Yokozuna. And as he gave that historic post-promotion interview, some of your money was in his pocket. I can confirm that the first wrestler I gave to after receiving your donations was he. Which left only Kairyu's story to be resolved. Other results had gone his way. Victory against Chiyo Arashi would take him up as well. And on the day, the man he served was primed to win the Emperor's Cup. A double celebration for master and servant. Sekitori Kairyu. Kairyu? Oh, Kairyu, who landed the first blows but made no inroads, knocked from the left, forearmed from the right, and smothered by a man on a roll. 4 closing wins for Chiyo Arashi. What were you all doing in 2005? That's how long Kairyu's been waiting for his salary. 17 years this March. And a perkiness far beyond the average wrestlers, reinforced by a resounding laugh, suggests he's now so good at putting smiles on defeats, he may never rise higher.